What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. Let's start this video with the off-season physique update of a guy who has one of the best set of wheels in bodybuilding, Penguin Long. So the last time he was on a bodybuilding stage, that was back in 2022. That year he made his Olympia debut in 212 division and he was able to place 11th at that show. Now it was so hard for him to make that 212 weight cutoff. I mean the guy had to suffer really hard to get down to 212 pounds, even at his debut Olympia. And that is why he immediately decided after the Olympia 2022 that he is switching to the men's open bodybuilding. And we have been waiting for him to make the announcement when he is going to compete next, when he is going to make his open bodybuilding debut. And the guy has been paying his dues, putting on enough mass so that he can be competitive in a bigger division. And I have to say, it isn't his form that he needs to worry about. Even at the Olympia 2022 in the 212, he had the most wild proportions from the front after the reigning 212 champion Keon Pearson. But his back needs a lot of work. His back is so behind in development in comparison to his front. In fact, when he turns around, he is a totally different bodybuilder. And that was one of the reasons why he switched to the men's open bodybuilding, because he could not have made any improvements in his back with a weight cap hanging over his head. So this has been a long process of putting on enough size for Peng. So one thing that I have noticed is that some of these athletes from China and from Asia, they have one commonality. Their quads are some of the best looking out there, and it's not just about the size, it's the sweep, which allows them to have a great X-frame. So off the top of my head, we have Brent Chen in Classic Physique who has some of the best quads out there. We have Jahan Park in Classic Physique, and we saw him last year at Texas Pro, where he was able to beat Robert Timms and Logan Franklin. His quads were looking absolutely insane. We saw Korean Bucky last year, who had one of the best set of wheels out there. We have Xiaoming Yan in the men's open bodybuilding, and his legs are one of the most dense looking legs out there. So whatever these guys are doing out there, that's definitely working for these guys. So coming back to Penguin Long. Now his quads are one of the best in his respective division, and we have definitely not seen the best of Peng yet. He has been blessed with amazing genetics in terms of 3D muscle bellies, the separation in his quads. And I am really hoping that he's going to be more impressive in the men's open bodybuilding when the time comes. The reigning Mr. Olympia Derek Lunsford certainly has been enjoying his time being the reigning Mr. Olympia champion. He has done an awesome job as the biggest bodybuilding ambassador, making a lot of appearances, producing a lot of content, and keeping the fans engaged. The Olympia is a two-day contest in which the judges select who is the best physique on the planet. But let's accept the fact that the promoters would love to see a man who has a great physique, as well as the ability to grow the sport, and take the sport to the next level, and make bodybuilding more mainstream. So Derek Lunsford has a crazy physique. There is no doubt about that. That back double bicep might become the greatest this sport has ever seen. And I am sure that is going to happen in a few years. He's already one of the best out there in terms of his back double biceps. Even right now it is up for debate as one of the greatest back double biceps of all time. Because he is so complete top to bottom. He has the density, he has the width. His hamstrings look absolutely insane. He has one of the most ripped glutes out there. And also his side leg leveled up a lot last year. And that is why he won the side shorts against Hadi Choopan as well as Samson Dauda. So Derek isn't playing no games on his road to his second Mr. Olympia title, or his first Mr. Olympia title defense. And out of all the guys who will potentially be challenging him for this year's Mr. Olympia, that is Samson Dauda, Nick Walker, Hadi Choopan. Derek had one advantage over all of these guys. The advantage of having the entire year just to focus on one show, just to grow his physique, just to be better than last year. And there is no doubt that the man is 100% focused to defend his title at the Olympia, which is going to be held in October. We have seen that he has been keeping things very tidy even throughout this off-season, and that only means one thing. No need to start the prep anytime soon. He will continue to make improvements for another few months. The Pittsburgh Pro guest posing is going to be an awesome one, as Derek is always in a great shape, and this is where it all started for Derek Lunsford a couple of years ago. It has been a little more than a month since the Persian Wolf, Hadi Choopan, won his last contest, the Arnold Classic UK, and now Hadi is making his return to the gym. He's finally pushing some weights, after taking a much needed rest and recovery period. So he is most probably just running TRT at the moment, but he has started to push some really heavy weights in the gym already. So every top Olympia competitor is gonna say that they are ready to dethrone Derek in October. In reality, even Derek himself knows that Hadi Choopan will most likely be his biggest competition again this year. And people just don't realize that this is gonna be their third year fighting for the top spot. And if that in fact happens, this is gonna turn out to be one of the biggest rivalries in the bodybuilding history. And Hadi Choopan is so damn complete. And ironically, Hadi's biggest strengths, they are arguably Derek's biggest weaknesses. His muscle maturity and density in his chest and his shoulders area, the kind of striations that he has, no one can match him in that department. And do not forget about the serratus obliques and his deep, separated and well-chiseled abs. One of the best out there. The only guy who can possibly match him in that department, that is Andrew Jacked. And that is where Derek's weakness lies. So this is again gonna be one hell of a battle this year at the Olympia. Hadi Choopan coming for redemption. As per Chris Aceto, Hadi Choopan's Orange Classic Ohio look, that was a tutorial in bodybuilding peaking. That is what we call being 100% in shape. Everything was there. The conditioning, the fullness, he had everything. But I have to say, I'm not gonna doubt this man by saying he could not be better than this. Because people thought Hadi cannot be better than Vancouver Pro 2019 version. And he proved everyone wrong by bringing the same or maybe even better conditioning than that, with the added muscle, with the added size. So it was really close between these two guys at the Olympia last year as well. And we saw a whole lot of drama afterwards. And I have a feeling that it is gonna be a close fight once again this year. Lastly, the current look of the most decorated bodybuilder of all time, the Blade Dexter Jackson, at the age of 54. So back when Dexter was actively competing, he always said that he's gonna be downsized after retirement for sure, but he's always gonna stay lean and muscular. And that is exactly what he is currently preaching. So at the tail end of his career, when he started talking about retirement openly, he always said that he's looking forward to consuming less and less food, because Dexter had a super fast metabolism and he could never afford to miss a meal. So this is a very well-deserved retirement, and his record of 5 Arnold Classic Ohio titles, that isn't gonna be easily broken. So if you take a look back at Dexter's entire career, there was a point after him losing the title to Jay Cutler in 2009, when his physique started to go downhill. He was outside of the top 5 in 2011, and that's when people started thinking that another great career is coming to an end. But Dexter Jackson just turned it around and presented one of the greatest physiques of his career, and that happened later in 2015, when he finished second just behind Phil Heath at the Olympia 2015. He even won 2 more Arnold Classic titles after 2011, but the craziest thing that we saw was the year he retired. 2020, he placed runner-up at the Arnold Classic, beating Big Ramy, who won the Olympia later that year. One of the greatest to ever grace the bodybuilding stage. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.